This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This your boy Black Megas, and coming out of retirement a bit on the sports talk to talk about the Nick Saban situation. For those who don't know, and how could you not know if you follow sports, Nick Saban made some scathing comments about a couple of rival coaches. Well, yes, Deion Sanders isn't necessarily a direct rival. It's kind of funny because until somebody said it, I didn't think about the fact that him and Deion Sanders actually had done commercials together, which I figured they had some type of relationship that was cordial, to be able to do that. Which the comments that he made were like bonkers. But I knew he was going to say something about Nick Saban. About Deion Sanders. All right, let me just, for the record, Nick Saban made some scathing comments about the activities of coaches and how they were able to recruit certain players. In particular, Jimbo Fisher got the bulk of the heat from him, saying how they basically paid for their entire roster. Um, it was a very angry commentary by him, uh, which came out of nowhere, made no sense. And then again, he mentioned Deion Sanders saying that he paid $1 million for a player. He didn't say who, but I'm assuming it's the guy from uh, the guy he poached from Florida State, Hunter Jr. I think we all assume that, right? So, in response, Jimbo Fisher went off, basically saying like he's a narcissist and that he doesn't want to go and start saying shit like this because all people have to do is just look into his history, look into his past, and you'll see some things that you ain't gonna like. So he needs to back down and shut the fuck up. Basically, was Jimbo Fisher's response. Deion Sanders' response was much more measured. Um, Not surprised, honestly. Um, won't go into details as to why I'm not surprised, but hey, if you know, you know. Anyway, he basically was like, he wasn't talking about him or Jimbo Fisher, really. He was talking to his, donors, his boosters, the people who support the program financially to get him more money so he can do what he needs to do. It's wild because Deion's dead on. But I think he was also being nice by not saying that this guy is probably losing his shit because nobody has to kiss the ring anymore. And I think that's what you're getting from a lot of these coaches who've been screaming and very volatile when it came to the NIL agreement. The name, images, and licensing agreement that allows college players now to go out and procure endorsements, if they're able to do so. I think this is really, really set like a lot of high profile people on edge because you're not just the draw anymore. You are the reason why, you know, people will make the choices that they make anymore. All these programs, the big ones, LSU, Alabama, Notre Dame, what have you, all these schools had the resources and the financial backing to attract players more. Now it's becoming a little bit more of a player's choice because players have now gotten some power back. My brand, my name is something that's going to attract a lot of people. And if I can go someplace where I could find, I could land someplace where I could be
a bigger star, and therefore, by being a bigger star, be able to potentially get better endorsements and have some financial stability for me and my family while I'm pursuing this goal. Well, hey, if I feel like Texas A&M presents that, opportunity better than being one of the many in Alabama, I'm gonna do it. If I feel like going to an HBCU and being a star at an HBCU, which would also help other HBCU athletes and help the universities overall by bringing them like more attention, I'm going to do it. I'm not just going to make that choice of where I'm going to go that I could potentially start at and get more looks from NFL scouts, because with this agreement, if more players start spreading out and going where they truly want to, and like wanting to, either whether they want to headline their a program and not have a lot of competition, or they just want to stay closer to home, or what have you, whatever decision making goes into that, knowing that they have NIL to help them out. This is going to make scouts have to go other places, because scouts will go where the talent is. And if the talent is more spread out and the playing field evens, people like Nick Saban and Dabo Sweeney, who have been two of the loudest, detractors of NIL, they got a problem because they're not just sitting in like the houses of power anymore. The power doesn't just potentially rest with them. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting. It's funny because they said Saban contacted both coaches. Fisher was like, "I'm not answering his calls. Fuck him." Dion was like, "Yeah, he probably did, but we're not doing no private conversation. He wants to air me out publicly. Then we need to have this discussion on this matter publicly. Like, don't be trying to like do the private thing." And maybe to his credit, Saban kind of gave an apology that wasn't really an apology to me. It was more just like, hey, I didn't mean anything by that. It's okay. I'm not. It's nothing personal. Like, nah. You snapped and you lost your cool, and now there's no backing from that. It's going to be interesting though. The conversation that's going to be had um, moving forward, and how things are going to end up being shaped overall with NIL in play is going to be very interesting, because they were already upset with the portal aspect of things, letting players be able to move. Now, again, you have NIL, which adds another layer of power to the players to be able to like make decisions um, to go places that are much more beneficial to them, not just in playing time either. So um, it's interesting. College football is going to be very very interesting. The landscape is going to shift tremendously. What's funny is I found like in all this, college basketball is probably better off for the NIL thing, because with kids already moving early, like after 1 year, if anything, NIL will actually benefit college basketball more, because kids will probably stay longer to make sure they get the proper draft position, knowing that they can have some type of financial system in place to help them if they're able to take advantage of it. So that's the funny part about all of this, is that college basketball is probably going to be a better system for it, and college football right now is just in chaos, because you got a bunch of motherfuckers who are control freaks who have never had that control tested the way that college basketball has already had with the NFL, NBA draft and age rules and all that, fluctuating over the years. Like college football has always been, you're stuck there for a certain amount of time before until you're like 20, 21, or you at least play 2 years. So they got you, and then it came the portal system, and that was like, oh shit, you don't lose a year eligibility, so I can't, really fuck with you like that. Eesh. Yeah, and now this, these dudes can make money. Yeah, it's gonna be so funny to see where the Nick Saban of the world, are going to be 5 years from now. Like seriously, if he doesn't adjust, and if he doesn't adapt, and if any old school coach don't adapt, gonna be shit out of luck. Shit out of luck. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Makers, and I'm out. Deuces.